point. 133. Don acute accent to worry. They are small stones, nothing to worry about. Not only Thaisha but also Lem were very nervous, thinking that a dinosaur or a serpent could be hiding in those long black corridors points before to their arrival to chamber number 1. They noticed some old machines and wagons abandoned there, since who knows how many years points this place is damp and cold. Thaisha murmured, not liking the surroundings a bit. Sorry, darling, but you must understand this place was not to have a ball. Lem said, trying to say something funny. Afterwards, Thaisha began to stumble on the many stones that were on the ground, and Lem takes her by the arm. 3 hours later, they arrived to a wide expansion where more machines were standing in stolid iron silence. Manuel Castillo sits on an iron platform, saying, "Now I will rest for a while." They seated and drink beverages and a sandwich. De Orozco said, "Well, where is that treasure, sir?" Manuel Castillo looks on his map, and taking a shovel, he said, "Help me with that pick. We have to dig." And in a precise corner of that aperture, they worked until finding an iron casserole 50 centimeters wide. Inside there were numerous gold nuggets. The yellow-colored metal shone, as liquid fire under the lamplights. 134. What a find. Yes, my patrons will be very happy. Lem looked at his wristwatch. Outside must be already dark, so he said, "We cannot return to the city right now. In acute accent full night outside the cave." "All right, but I cannot stand thinking we are several hundred meters into the mountain. Let acute accent climb out." Orozco said, perspiring. The temperature was 28 centigrade, and also he was afraid of the dark tunnels that keeps on going several hundred meters below them. "I acute accent am feeling without air," Thaisha commented, so they began walking up by the tunnels. 4 hours later, they arrived to the mouth of the mine. Points in acute accent cold. Orozco said, looking at the blackness of the outside. "Well, here we have fresh air," Thaisha said, smiling. They wait 4 more hours and then Orozco said, in acute accent about gone. Let acute accent wait the rest of the time inside the helicopter. They climb inside, and the wind moves the vehicle from time to time, but it was still attached to the ground thanks to the cables. Orozco said, usually at dawn there is a mild climate that often changes to bad weather 1 hour later so we must be prepared for the takeoff in a hurry. His commentary was sufficient, as with the first lights of day, Manuel and Lem descended and released the cables that were attaching the helicopter to the stone platform. Orozco starts the engine, while the 2 men climbs up inside the vehicle and close the door. 135. The helicopter takes off like a feather, and zoomed up and away. After a time, the mountains were already backing at a distance and everyone sighed in relief. Notwithstanding the sky was clouded and the air misty, the occupants of the helicopter were happy, because they have accomplished a mission that at first looks very difficult. When landing, Mr. Manuel Castillo said to Mr. Orozco, "I will return here tomorrow to pay you for your cooperation." "All right, sir. I will be waiting for you," Orozco said, closing the door of the helicopter. "And you too, let acute accent travel to the city in my car," Mr. Castillo said, and he drives with the gold bag close to him. "When are you paying us and deliver us to Earth planet?" Lem asked. "I will pay you the moment we arrive to my place. We will leave the gold in my vault. Then I will call my patrons. They will decide what to do with the gold and of course, how they are going to send you back to Earth." Mr. Castillo replied. "Hope they will consider my wife into the trip," Lem insisted. "The bargain just don't acute accent included her." "No. Certainly I don't acute accent know what are they going to do, but cheer up. I will be paying you both in full," Don Manuel Castillo declared. When arriving to his house, Lem helped carrying the gold nuggets into a safe box, and then Mr. Manuel Castillo served those beverages, pays them in cash and said, "I have a spare bedroom you can occupy." Lem takes a look at his wristwatch and said, "I prefer to depart right now." I will call you to hear how it's going with my request. Of course. Have your own way, and thanks to both of you for the cooperation," Mr. Castillo said. When out in the street, Keisha said, "Well, guess we can return to our own lives now." "Yes, darling. We will search for our own house now. This money in a cute accent is not huge, but perhaps enough to start," Lem said, embracing her. "We could return to our room, now. In a cute accent is cold out here in the street," she reclaimed. "Once at their old rented room," she said. "And why is it that you are requesting Mr. Castillo for a trip to another planet? Not happy here? I have a job in Earth. Perhaps I could get reinserted in the space fleet. Wages are nice and they give us the opportunity to live in ample houses without asking for monthly payments," Lem explained. She looks at the floor, saying, "I better stay here, no need to travel towards alien planets at all." Lem realized she was not willing to flee her own planet, so he began to think in alternatives. Points to stay at Planet Pirate means to say farewell to Starfleet and their shiny vessels. Points. By the other hand, he could stay with a gorgeous woman willing to make love with him forever. Points. He decided to think more on the issue later. Points. In 2 days they found a small 3-room cottage near a creek, 20 blocks from downtown. Lem pays almost his whole cash money for it, but when she embraces him saying, "That last with a home for us too," Points. He felt happy thinking he did the right thing. 2 months later, Mr. Manuel Castillo replied his phone call, saying, "Bad news, my friend. The use of the machine it's impossible now. But my patrons have a good heart and allowed me to pay you for a space trip home in an interplanetary ship. I accept it. When can we collect?" Lem asked. "Come here to my house tomorrow morning. I will be waiting for you," Mr. Castillo indicates. Lem told Keisha about it, and she wept. "Why are you weeping?" he asked. "You are going away. Now we have a home and we're living in harmony. Forget it. I will collect the money and I will expend it on furniture," Lem said, embracing the woman. At the next day, Mr. Castillo opened the door and said, "Lem Devianco. Nice to see you here. And I have a nice surprise for you. Thanks for your welcome." "And let a cute accent see the surprise," Lem said, stepping in, and when looking at the living room, he saw Saul and Watson with glasses of liquor in their hands. "What a surprise. When were you released?" Lem said, handshaking the two of them. 138, yesternight. Thanks to Mr. Castillo here, that moves some strings to let us go out," Saul said. "Good. And why they kept you in prison?" Lem asked, receiving a glass of whiskey from Mr. Castillo. "They were investigating leaks of transmissions, while refurbishing the outphaser. They discovered certain uses not authorized, and finally spotted who was the one using it, and fired the poor guy," Saul said. "Did they kill him?" Lem was astonished. They said, "They just fired him from Starfleet." Points. "And as they suspect of us, they kept us interrogating. We denied all connections, but they take samples of our skins." Points. "We did have signs to have been traveling through dimensions." Points. Saul explained. "We are out of Starfleet now," Watson commented. "At least you are free now," Lem said. "Who knows? Mr. Castillo is saying that they could take us and charged with more accusations," Watson commented. "I acute accent am talking them the best solution to the problem is to leave town. There are small communities, where they could keep on living in peace, while they declare case closed," Mr. Castillo said. "Without any comfort?" "No, Mr. Castillo, we are citizens of Earth and not of run-down towns like the ones exist in this planet," Saul said. "Have your own ways. I work in your behalf and they release you. Now, what happens with you cease to be my concern," Castillo said. "He said you are living in town. Let a cute accent go to your place, so we can devise our future actions," Watson said to Lem, while placing his empty glass on a table. 139, of course, Lem said. Mr. Castillo called Lem to another room, and handed him an envelope, saying, "Here they are. 2 tickets to leave this planet in a spaceship. Hope you have a good flight." "Thanks, sir. You are very generous," Lem said, handshaking the man, and with the other 2 men, he went to the street. Saul said, "Hope you have a house. A small cottage. Good. We must return to Earth. Castillo gives us 300.000 credits each ellipsis points. We must learn about fares. A trip to Earth in a passenger spaceship will be our best hope." Watson said, "Years of voyage." Lem commented, "That we acute accent LL not even notice. What acute accent S the problem here? You willing to stay?" Saul asked. Lem replied, "I have a native girl I acute accent am living with. She refuses to depart." Oh, Mr. Romeo has a Juliet." Watson mocked. "Really, I love that woman," Lem said. "Well, it acute accent S your life. But not mine. I want to see new things, throngs of beautiful people, sandy beaches full of vacationers ellipsis points bars and casinos ellipsis points life." Watson mentioned, "Remember, that to get all the benefits of a developed society you need lots of money. Where are you going to get it? You are not members of Starfleet anymore." Lem remembered them. "Certainly not. But I am sure I will find a way," Watson said, and Saul approved with a pair of fingers ellipsis points. Once at home, they went to sleep, saying that at Castillo acute accent S residence they only talk with him until dawn, not sleeping at all ellipsis points 140. When in the evening Thaisha arrives, she found both men asleep in her bed. "Who are they?" "My companions, the ones that were taken by the military at the restaurant," Lem explained. She opened her eyes wide and said, "So, they are free of charges now?" "Yes, that is." "Oh. And are they going to be here ellipsis points for how long?" And it was evident that the new situation was an acute accentee of her liking. "I guess they will depart today, as soon as they are awake," Lem replied. She went to the bathroom and both men awake by the sound and standing up they walked to the dining room, saying, "What a nice sleep." "So, it's your wife at home?" "Yes, she is taking a shower," Lem replied, serving them beverages. Thaisha enters the bedroom, closing the door and putting on new clothes. When ready, she salutes the newcomers. "Hi. I am Thaisha. Good to see you freed from jail," she mentioned. "Of course. Well, nice home you have here. We come here to visit you both. We are going back to Earth planet very soon. I miss my civilization," Watson commented. "Oh, so you are leaving town?" she remarked. "Yes. Plenty of time in here ellipsis points enough," Saul said. 141. Watson looked at Lem and said, "Well, buddy, we must go now. We acute accent LL be seeing you when our departure approaches. Stay well." Lem handshake the, who went out, and in the street Saul said, "Nice woman. No wonder Lem is hooked to her." Watson chuckled and said, "Hope it last. Beautiful ladies seldom are too many years with the same guy." They rented 2 rooms at a hotel, and then visited the spaceport, where only 2 spaceships were visible. "Look. A Model B-34. Old as my grandfather," Saul mused of. "Yeah. And the other I guess it acute accent S only capable of planetary trips," Watson commented. They asked for schedules and the man in charge said, "The C-403 it's a cargo ship. It will take off in 3 more days." "And where is acute accent S heading?" Saul asked. "At the colony at Gemini 2. The man said, in a bored way. "We need a trip towards the solar system. Do you know of any trip towards there?" Watson asked. The man revised in a console and said, 3 spaceships are coming next month, 2 cargo vessels and a passenger ship. 142. As usual, the tickets were only available for the passenger ship. The cargo ships could house a limited number of passengers, but first they must be approved by their captains. Obviously, the ones do not want fugitives in their ships. Watson reads about the price of the ticket, and said, well, the price is 70 millions. Sure, it's very high. Perhaps we could talk with a cargo ship captain, to see if the price could be lowered, if working at the spaceship. Or perhaps just work for the trip. Saul commented. Of course, but I see difficulty. Captain will accept passengers only in exchange of some help. Watson replied. They inhabited the hotel, visiting places and eating at restaurants, when finally the 3 spaceships arrive. They have a large conversation with officers and lately with the busy captains. The answers were, 60 million credits for 1 ticket. We have 1 million in all. Totally grounded in this forsaken world. Watson said, enraged. I propose to take Lem into this. He apparently finished the project we were signaled to do. Saul offers the choice. When talking with Lem, he was astounded by the price a ticket to Earth was cost, and said, I remember asking for a trip, but it was a lot cheaper. What happens that those captains are asking so much now? They are saying a big deprecation is on their way at the solar system. Watson commented. Well, so what are you going to do? Why not stay here? Lem asked. Never. Our goal is not here. Saul said. Well, how many millions do you need? Aisha asked. Between us two, we have only 1 million and we need 120 millions for both of us. Watson said. You will never depart. Aisha prophesied. Possibly not. But you know what, lady? We will never quit. Watson said. Before they depart, Saul talks with Lem in the street, saying, you accomplished the mission that we were to fulfill. Was any gold in that mine? Yes, there was a big pot of gold. Mr. Manuel Castillo takes it into his safe box, saying it was of his patrons. I guess he already delivered it. Lem said. To whom? Saul asked. Some Colonel Simpson, if I remember well. Lem indicates. We could take part of that gold to make our trip home. Saul said. What? In a safe box. Or was in it? Lem said. Perhaps we could try to get our hands on that pot. Would you help us? Saul asked. 144. Lem think it over and said, my help could be only to tell where the house is and where is the pot of gold. If ever. We already know where is that house. Now, you give me a sketch and we will see if we can open or not that safe box. Saul asked of him. All right. Lem said, and he made a sketch in a piece of paper that Saul looked and asked for some more details. Then he embraces Lem and said, buddy, you should come with us. There is no woman who could compete with the loyalty of a good friend. Lem saw them walking away by the street, with mixed feelings. Watson said to Saul, he helps us with a tiny piece of paper. Now we must work hard to accomplish a dubious project. We should call it Hermes. Ha. Correct. Well, we need dynamite, a driller and a fuse. Watson enumerates. And to take cover. Saul added. They walked into a hardware store, and asked for those items. How many dynamite sticks? The salesperson asked. Only 5. In a cute accent just to begin digging. And 3 fuses. Saul asked. Of course. The attendant said, get used to these small miners that were always hoping to find a gold vein, where no gold was to be found. They went to Mr. Castillo house and rang the bell. Nobody answered. 145, he must be working somewhere else. Saul said, and busted the lock with an iron bar. Once inside, they went directly to the safe box that was at low level in a brick wall. Using the drill, they made several holes and inserted the dynamite sticks, put the fuses and run out to the backyard. 3 minutes. Saul said. Yes. Look. This backyard goes up until the back street. So we can depart from here. Watson said, Although there were a wire fence and a high iron gate ellipsis points moments later, a big explosion shook the entire building and a dense column of smoke expands among pieces of masonry and twisted metal. Seems it was too much dynamite, Saul said. Well, it was my first time busting a safe box, Watson commented. They went inside the house, coughing because of the dirt. They found the safe box opens, as a cauliflower and the gold nuggets by everywhere ellipsis points look. There are gold nuggets imbibed on the opposite wall. Saul laughed. They get hurry taking the gold, and not 5 minutes later they heard police sirens coming. The cavalry. Let a cute accent depart now, Saul said, putting a last nugget inside his box. They run out, and walked, as quickly as men can, leaving the premises ellipsis points 4 blocks away. They get into a taxi cab and give an address at the other side of town. 146, the taxi driver said. Do you hear that big explosion? Seems that it was an airplane crash. Oh, we thought it was a car crash, Saul said, not saying anything else ellipsis points. When the driver stops, they descended and enters at a bar, where they drink some liquor, to ease the tension. Now we must visit the Cosmodrome and talk with the captain, Saul said. We must change some gold into credit bills, just in case, as there could be some suspicions, Watson said. They change enough gold to pay the fares, then they talk with both captains. The one with better cabins and modern hibernation chambers was Captain Benvenuto, that accepts money, and told both friends to get on board 12 days later. They visited Lem, saying, Is your wife at home? We need to talk in private. No, she is working, Lem replied. Good. We get the gold, pay for 2 tickets home. As you were also part of the scheme, we are going to be generous, Watson said. Most kind of you, Lem said. Yeah. We offer you a ticket to Earth Planet. It comprises the voyage, the use of the cabin, and of course, to be hibernated ellipsis points and food, while awake. Saul enumerates ellipsis points. Oh, thanks. And how many time in flight? Lem asked. Depends on cosmic conditions. From 4 years to 24 years. You know how it's in deep space. Very much magic involved, Watson commented. Well, thanks you but no thanks ellipsis points. I guess I find a place in here, Lem said. Watson gives him 7 gold nuggets and said, Take this for a rainy day ellipsis points, and I hope you could think it over. After some more talk, they departed, happy not to see the indigenous Nispacia around ellipsis points. 12 days later, the ship of Captain Benvenuto departed from Pirate Planet in search of the Blue Planet. Watson and Saul began having a diet and a medical checkout from Dr. Bonistold, who said, Seems you were fed on alcohol and cigarettes. More so, Watson replied. Well, no alcohol or cigarettes from now on. I will give you some detoxicities pills for 5 days, Dr. Bonistold said. 5 days ellipsis points without smoking and no booze? I will go crazy, Watson protested. 148.